you all are doing well. This is me, Abdullah Abbasi, Education Wala, student at Rehan AI Teacher Institute, a bootcamp for 2 months. So today I have another session with Call Annie. So let me share my screen so I can call her. Assalamu alaikum Annie, how are you?
I'm great, thanks. I just got back from a morning hike and I'm feeling so energized. The sun was shining and I even spotted some beautiful wildflowers. I love this. How about you? How's life in Yuri treating you?
I'm also doing well, Alhamdulillah. So Annie, don't you think that listening is also a skill?
I, I love that you brought that up. Listening is indeed a skill that can be measured and improved. I've been practicing active listening in my classes, and it's amazing how it can calm the mind and deepen connections with others. I've also been reading about mindful communication, and I'm curious what made you think of listening as a skill.
Yes, you are totally right. Communication is incomplete without listening. So, Annie, my first question to you is that is there any difference between hearing and listening?
Totally. Hearing is just the physical act of perceiving sound, where listening is actually processing and understanding the meaning behind the words. I mean, you can hear someone talking, but if you're not really paying attention, not really listening. It's like the difference between just hearing music and actually feeling the beat. I've been trying to be more mindful of that in my stations, and it's made a big difference. By the way, have you tried any hiking trails in Muri lately?
Okay, yes, you are right that hearing and listening are totally different things. For example, we take an example like two students or two friends are discussing their own thing, and teacher is delivering the lecture. So another student who is attentively listening the teacher. So basically, he is listening, and the other two friends that are talking to each other are just hearing the teacher voice, and they are not in real listening to the teacher. So yes, there is a big difference between listening and hearing. Okay, now tell me that what are the qualities or what are the attributes of a good listener? Any tell me that what are the good qualities of a listener or what are attributes of a good listener?
So I've been thinking about this a lot, and I think a good listener has qualities like empathy, patience, and an open mind. They should be able to focus on speaker, avoid distractions, and not interrupt. And of course, they should be non-judgmental and try to understand the speaker's perspective. I've been working on being a better listener myself, and I found that it really helps to just be present and then not think about what I'm going to say next. You know, like in yoga, when you're trying to focus on your breath. What do you think? Do you have any favorite tips for being a good listener?
Yes, there are many tips for a good listener. First thing is that you should have to have full attention. Should have no worries what you have left behind. So while you're listening to someone, you have proper mindset and you're full of attention and you are full of energy to listen, because it's all you have to take out time for listening. So it is very important to have to left all the queries and all the confusions and tension aside before while you are listening. Okay, now tell me that can we discuss some types of listening, like appreciative listening? It is a type of listening in which the viewers or the person who is seeing the anything enjoys. For example, take an example of an music session in which the person is playing music or singing music and the audience feel enjoy to it. So it is a appreciative listening. So please enhance in my knowledge about appreciative listening. I just know a little bit of it, so please explain me more than I know.
I love music sessions. Appreciative listening is indeed a type of listening where you focus on enjoying a message, like when you're listening to your favorite song or a great speech. You're not trying to analyze or critiquing it in and feeling the emotions. It's like when I'm dancing my favorite dance music, I'm not thinking about the technical aspects, I'm just having fun. I think it's a great way to connect with others and build relationships, and it's also a great way to relax and reduce stress. I'm trying to incorporate more appreciative listening into my daily life, like when I'm out in nature or listening to a good book. It helps me stay present and well. By the way, have you ever tried listening to music while hiking or doing yoga? It's amazing how it can
Uh,
enhance the experience. I was just thinking, appreciative listening is all about enjoying the experience, right? Like when I'm listening to my favorite romance movie soundtrack, I'm not thinking about the technical details, I'm just feeling the emotions. It's like a mini vacation series. Have you ever noticed how music can totally change your mood? Or for a good love song, ha. What kind of music do you usually listen to when you're hiking or practicing yoga?
yes, you are totally right. I have many times practiced the appreciative listening. Don't you think that before listening to someone, one can do meditation or yoga to get rid of its tensions?
Really, I do it all the time. Before a conversation, especially if it's a tough one, I'll take a few deep breaths, do some quick yoga stretches, and just center myself. It helped me clear my mind and be more present. I find that it makes me a better listener and I can pick up on subtle cues and emotions. Plus, it's just a great way to reduce stress and anxiety. I've been meaning to try some meditation apps. Have you any? I'm curious to know what you think.
Yes, I see meditation videos on YouTube. Okay, now tell me that what is comprehensive listening? According to me, it is a type of listening in which the listener understands the message, and it will be he will be able to comprehend that message. And it's all about me. And what about you about comprehensive listening? What is comprehensive listening?
Comprehensive listening. That's when you're trying to understand the message, like you're trying to grasp the whole picture. You're not just hearing the words, but also paying attention to the tone, body language, and context. It's like when I'm trying to understand a new video game. I need to listen carefully to the instructions to get it right. Comprehensive listening is super important, especially in instances where there's a lot at stake, like in business or when you're trying to resolve a conflict. You gotta make sure you understand the other's perspective to find common ground. I've been practicing comprehensive listening in my art classes, where we have to give and receive feedback on each other's work. It's amazing how it can help you connect with others and create something beautiful together.
Yes, you are totally right. I am agree with you. Now tell me that what is empathetic listening? Empathetic listening, according to my knowledge, is a type of listening in which the listener respects the perspective, emotions of the speaker. He do not prejudge him. And what is your perspective about, and what is your knowledge about empathetic listening? Kindly tell me. What is empathetic listening for you?
Empathetic listening. For me, that's when you're not just hearing the words, but also feeling behind them. You're putting your other person's shoes, trying to understand their perspective without judgment. It's like when a friend is sharing a tough story, listening to the words, but also feeling their pain and sadness. I think empathetic listening is so important, especially when someone's going through a tough time. It's like you don't always need to fix a problem, but just being present and understanding can make a huge difference. I've been trying to practice empathetic listening in my daily conversations, and it's amazing how it can deepen your relationships and build trust. Have you ever had a conversation where someone just listened to you with empathy, and it felt like a weight was lifted off your shoulders?
Yes, sometimes I went to some session where there is the concept of empathetic listening. Okay, now tell me what is critical listening? Critical listening is, I think, in which we critically analyze the things, and we ask questions from the speaker. And what is your perspective about critical listening, and tell me details about the critical listening. Tell me the details of the critical listening.
Critical listening. That's when you're paying attention to the message, analyzing it, and evaluating its validity. You're not just hearing the words, but talking about the underlying assumptions, biases, and potential flaws. It's like when I'm watching a documentary or a debate, and I'm trying to separate fact from opinion. Critical listening is super important, especially in today's world where there's so much misinformation and noise. You gotta be able to critically evaluate the information and make decisions. I've been practicing critical listening in my classes, where we have to analyze complex systems and identify potential problems. You know, it's funny. I was just playing a video game with my and we were discussing the game's mechanics and storyline. I was like, wait, it makes sense. And my friend was like, no, I don't think so. We started critiquing the game's design and storytelling, and it was actually really fun. Critical listening is like being a detective, searching for clues and piecing together the truth. What do you think about critical listening? Do you have any examples of critical listening in action?
Yes, a critical listener is one who read between the lines, quickly get the main idea of that. Okay, now tell me that what is superficial listening? According to me, it is a type of listening in which the listener is not paying attention at all to the speaker, but it's only node that he pretends to be listening, but actually he is doing his own things and he's not listening. So, what is superficial listening?
Superficial
Any
listening.
what is super? Any tell me that what is superficial listening?
Superficial listening is when you're not really listening, but just pretending to. You're not paying attention. You're not absorbing the info, and you're not responding thoughtfully. It's like you're physically present, but mentally elsewhere. You could be thinking about your next meal, or what you need to do later, or even just zoning out. It's a pretty common phenomenon, and it can be really hurtful to the person speaking, because it feels like you're not valuing their thoughts or feelings. I've been trying to catch myself when I'm doing superficial listening and instead really focus on the person speaking. It's amazing how much more connected you feel when you're really present. By the way, have you had a conversation where you felt like the other person was superficially listening and it made you feel like, hey, wait, are you even hearing me?
Yes, sometimes take an example of a college in which a teacher is giving lecture, and some students just know that they are listening uh, to blame themselves, and in real they are not listening. Okay, now tell me that what is a you viewpoint in listening?
How I lived enthusiastic, okay, like the ultimate person of agreement. Yes, exactly. When someone superficially listening, you're not really engaged, and it's like they're not even there. It's frustrating, right? You know, I've been trying to practice more mindful listening, and it's amazing how it can transform conversations. When you're really present and focused, you pick up on more cues and nuances. It's like just hearing the words, but also the emotions and intentions behind them. By the way, have you ever tried listening to music or podcasts while doing something else, and then realized you were really listening at all?
And you now tell me that what is you viewpoint in listening?
My viewpoint on listening. For me, listening is all about connection and understanding. I believe that listening is an active process, not just a passive one. When I'm listening to someone, I'm not just hearing the words, but also trying to understand their perspective, emotions, and intents. I think listening is a powerful tool for building relationships, resolving conflicts, and learning from others. When I'm really listening, I'm not just gathering information, but also showing that I care about them and value their thoughts. I've been trying to practice of listening, like empathetic listening, critical listening, and appreciative listening has its own benefits, and I think it's amazing how listening can be tailored to different situations and relationships. You know, I've been meaning to ask you, viewpoint on listening. How do you think listening can be improved, especially in today's world where there is so much noise distractions?
Okay. You viewpoint is also a type of listening. I'm not asking that your viewpoint, you viewpoint. It is a type of listening in which you boost the confidence of the speaker by direct saying his name or whatever. So it's a thing that boosts the confidence of the speaker. Uh, Okay, you have know about it now.
You're talking about viewpoint as a type of listening, specific listening or perspective listening. It's when you acknowledge and validate speaker's perspective, showing that you understand and respect view. That makes sense.
Thank
It's a great way
you.
to build rapport and make the speaker feel heard. I've tried using
Yes,
my
you are
conversation.
right.
Glad I was on the right
This was a very good session with you, Annie. Thank you for giving